there were palm trees on 495. I wish there were palm trees.
Welcome to another episode of the 495 podcast. I am your host, Nick Esposito, and with me always, my co-host, Michael White. Today we are with a Babylon resident who has giant dreams. Joining us now is Jake Carlock.
Yep.
Hey, what's up, Jake?
Appreciate you guys having me.
Nick's been working on that line all week.
All week. While I was driving here, I was thinking about how can I introduce him?
Not bad.
So Jake played football at Babylon High School, and then he went on to play college ball later at LIU Post, and recently he signed with the New York Giants. So are you still pinching yourself now? What
I mean, it's starting to become a dream. I mean, a dream come true for sure, but now it's reality, so I kind of got to get to work, and I got to finish rookie minicamp and OTAs and mandatory minicamp. So it's no longer a dream. Now I gotta go to work.
Now it's work.
Yeah, exactly.
Now it's a job.
When we were, before we went live here, you were saying, you've never had a summer off, and you thought that this was going to be your first summer because, in high school and college, you do training camps every summer. But isn't it a good thing to not have your summer?
Yeah. So I remember towards the end of the season, like me and all my buddies were talking to seniors, and we're like, we haven't had August off in like 12 years or something like that. I was like, I don't know what I'm gonna do this August. Maybe catch a couple concerts. But now I'm going back to camp on 22nd of July, so I'll be doing better things this August.
There you go.
Yeah, awesome. Now you've been playing since football since you Pee-wee?
Probably like third grade, I want to say.
Yeah.
Right over there at the Babylon Fields, and Pee-wee with all my buddies.
Yeah. So
now, when was it clear that you were, better than most of the other kids? Right off the bat, or what?
So I had a good group of guys with me and all my friends. I think we had. By the time we graduated high school, it was like 6 of us went Division I sports, and then a couple were Division II, Division III. Mm-hmm. But my whole life, we grew up together, and we were either at my house or one of our buddies' house. We all live within 5 minutes of each other. We played sports every Friday, Saturday. Yeah. So it was no surprise to any of us that we were all pretty good when we grew up.
We're broadcasting live on Facebook, the 495 podcast at Babylon, right off of Deer Park Avenue.
Outside of Kilwins.
At the Kilwins. You probably haven't had an ice cream in a while, right?
Not
not
yet.
in the diet.
My buddy, Pat Delaney, used to work here, so he used to hook me up with some pretty good ice cream, but maybe get one after this.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Pat's the man. He was telling me about your favorite Giant growing up. Does Nick know about this?
No, I don't know if I was there.
Tell Nick about your favorite Giant.
Who's that? I have a couple. I got
one of your favorite Giants.
Chase Blackburn was one of my
the linebacker.
favorite. Yeah, he wasn't too big of a name. I mean, Giants fans would
he
really
played for
only
a few
know
years,
him.
right?
But yeah, he played for a few years.
Yeah.
And he was a big special teams guy. And I mean, like I said, not too many people know about him. But if you're a Giants fan, you definitely know about him. He had a pretty big interception, and I think it was a 2011 Super Bowl. Secure the win, so I mean he's one of my favorites for sure.
That's awesome.
And then what I'm getting at is Zach.
Oh yeah,
what's his last name? Tiasi, the long snapper.
Yeah, he growing up.
Long snapper.
He's been on the Giants for I think it's going to be his 13th year now.
That's your favorite player, a long snapper?
I mean, he was
crazy.
He was my guy growing up. I remember watching him.
That's so funny.
In 2007, he got drafted as a linebacker, and he ended up transferring or making the transition to long snapper. And, I mean, that's kind of where I find myself right now. And I've been working with him, and he's great. He's been helping me out a lot, telling me tips and whatnot. So it's pretty cool to learn from. It's like one of your favorite players.
And it's like, that's not a sexy position. Like a lot of people don't even know how long snappers even get into the league. Yeah. It's like, are you recruited for your long snapping, or is it a lot of guys, they like transition from other positions?
Yeah, I think
right?
it's probably transition, right?
Yeah.
It's not kickers.
Yeah. I mean, it happens. I know. Most of the time, some guys will just come out as long snappers. That's all they do. But I know kind of the league is, I mean, it changes every year. You get more athletic, more. Yeah. Sometimes size doesn't even matter anymore. It's all about speed and athleticism. So if you can transition to a long snapper, I mean, I'm all for it, and it's kind of what I'm trying to do.
Awesome. Nice. All right, so let's get into your background a little bit. So, obviously, we mentioned before that you played at Babylon High School, 2 undefeated seasons in 2012 and 2013, right? Yeah. Let's talk about high school football a little bit. What were your favorite moments then?
Yeah, so that was a blast for me, especially because that meant the world to like me and my buddies, because growing up we always watched the older kids play, our brothers, our friends, and then by the time it was our turn to finally play on varsity, we took it. Like, that was the world to us. So we went in the weight room every day, went to the field every day, and we grew up with such a small, close group. Yeah. So there's like 10 of us, and we still talk every day. We have a group chat. So I mean, that was just more fun than anything. And the best times were just fooling around in the weight room and practice, not even winning games.
So then you go on. At what point were you thinking college football? You always thinking college football?
Yeah.
In high
So
school?
in around 10th grade, I decided to really dedicate myself to football. I ended up.
You played a bunch of sports. Like you played lacrosse, right?
I played basketball and lacrosse. I still played basketball, but then I stopped playing lacrosse 10th and 11th grade because I wanted to get ready for football. I just lifted and went to the field every day in the spring, getting ready for that upcoming season, and it really helped me out. I took it more serious, but then I realized in 12th grade, after I earned a scholarship to go play Division I football, that I wanted to play one more sport with my buddies. And so basketball ended, so I went and I decided to play lacrosse for the year.
That's funny.
It was a good decision.
So,
It was a good time.
just a little side note. I think I saw. So there's a new lacrosse league out. So there's. I don't know if Mike
The
knows.
Saints coming back to
No.
Nassau
So
Coliseum?
there used to. There is the Major League Lacrosse, which is like the outdoor with like the New York Lizards and stuff like that.
The
But
indoor
they-
stuff's the best.
Yeah. So they started another outdoor league called Premier Lacrosse League, and I'm pretty sure I saw they shouted you out recently.
Oh, really? I know. So my good buddy I played football with at Post, he was the middle linebacker. I was an outside linebacker, and he's a fogo, so it's just a face-off guy and get off. That's it. But he leveled some dude on opening weekend, and now he's like, he's got his face is pretty big in the PLL right now. So
pretty
I'm
cool.
happy
That's
for him.
awesome, man.
Awesome.
So yeah.
So all right, okay. So let's go back to the timeline a little bit. All right. So you get. So you decide to go to Stony Brook. Why'd you pick Stony Brook before you transferred later on to LIU
Yeah,
Post?
so going through senior year, I kind of had a couple offers, talking to a couple schools. I ended up going to Stony Brook just because it was close to home. It was a good fit for me at the time. And I wanted to be close so my whole family, friends could come and watch. And it was a great 3 years. I had a good time. It was, I was there for about 3 years, and then I ended up leaving my junior year to go to LIU Post to pursue teaching. I wanted to go into education. I couldn't really find a solid major over there, so I ended up leaving. I wanted to link up, so my brother was leaving high school at that time. I wanted to link up with him, try and go to the same college. Things kind of fell through. He ended up at Cortland. I ended up at LIU Post, but it worked out for both of us.
So you went to Post thinking your brothers are going to be there too, and
Yeah,
they bailed on you?
So yeah, he ended up choosing Cortland, and
he's got
I
to do
think
what's best for him.
he's having a good time there too, and he's
Good,
playing
good.
ball up there, doing well. So
Excellent.
yeah.
So like one of the things that I love especially about your story, and compared to other people out there that are top prospects, right? Because like they go through, like when you're a top prospect in high school and college, you know that you're going to the league. So I'm sure it was always in the back of your mind. I'm sure you dreamed about going and playing in the NFL. Like you just said, you kind of went to LIU Post for a major, so you were definitely thinking this football thing might not work out at all.
No. So I kind of had to. I talked to my. It was a tough decision.
Yeah, that sounds
during
pretty
the
brutal,
fall.
man.
I was talking to my parents and my brothers, and I was on scholarship. So at the time, I was like, I really wanted to leave and pursue education, but at the same time, I was getting school paid for.
Stony
football.
Brook didn't have an education program?
No, they don't. So yeah, so then
That sounds crazy.
I know,
It's a
yeah.
major university.
I know.
exactly. But so we decided that it'd be better to just pursue after football, because I mean, at the time I didn't think NFL is a long shot. So so I had to think about post football, and I wanted to be a teacher. So we ended up leaving. When I got to Post at first, it was a little not discouraged, but I was like, all right, I'll just keep playing, have some fun with it. And
They've
then I'll
had
go
a few
teach.
guys go to the NFL though
Yeah,
from Post.
definitely, and they got a good program. I mean, Coach Collins is doing a real good job over there, and now they're Division I, so hopefully they'll get a couple more
It's
guys.
amazing.
over.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah, it's a good time.
So in college at LIU Post, you played a couple different positions. You were a defensive back, linebacker. I know you led your team in tackles your senior year. I think 67 tackles, and you won Northeast Player of the Year.
Yeah.
So yeah, you played a bunch of different positions, though, right?
Yeah, so we had, first when I got there, I was playing free safety, kind of back more. But then they realized that they could move me up in the box and play a little more. So I was in the box every now and then I was playing outside linebacker. Then on third downs, I would go play D end. And then
That
it would
sounds
just
fun.
move
That
around.
sounds fun.
It was a good time.
Yeah.
I didn't mind moving around.
Swiss Army
I
knife.
tried getting on offense, but they said that they couldn't figure it out.
But so you started long snapping, though, right?
Every
Yes,
defender's
so-
dream is to be on offense.
I was trying to get some wide receiver. So long snapping, our starting long snapper got hurt. I think his appendix ruptured like week 3, and we didn't really have a backup. So I said I could do it, kind of just like saying if we needed to emergency, and then so it ended up being an emergency. So I went in, and just kind of took over the job from there on.
You don't just start long snapping. I'm sure you've
Oh yeah, no, we always
in your backyard,
growing
through your
up,
legs,
whole life.
hit a tree or something.
Yeah, me and my brother. I got
the
4
tree.
brothers, so we play all the time and we would mess around. So we'd long snap. I mean, it was just like playing in the backyard.
Yeah,
I was like, all right, I'll go snap the ball a little bit.
Now, Jake, tell us about how you ended up with the Giants and how that whole process played out.
The whole process was pretty crazy. I mean,
I can imagine.
I never really thought I'd be in the position. I always hoped, but once you're there, it's a little different. So I started at the end of fall semester. I decided to kind of drop out of school, go train up in New Jersey at Test Football Academy, where they train guys getting ready for combine prep and whatnot. And they got me in great shape, and my numbers for pro day and whatnot were awesome, thanks to them. And so I was talking to a couple teams. My agent was talking to a couple teams. Then when draft day came along, I was told that I could be like a really late pick in the draft, 6th or 7th round, or free agent. So then towards the 6th or 7th round, I started getting calls from teams saying they're going to look to sign me after I got a call from the Falcons. My agent was talking to a couple teams. Then I got a call from the Giants, and the Giants kind of was our best fit, we thought, because they wanted me to be a linebacker and a long snapper, so we figured 2 positions better than one.
What were the Falcons looking for
Falcons
you
were
to do?
strictly linebacker. And another team, I forget who it was, my agent was talking to, wanted linebacker, so we figured might as well go somewhere where you can have 2 positions or even
Right.
back up for 2 positions, whatnot.
In your estimation, though, do you think it's kind of better or worse? I don't know. To sign undrafted or to be drafted in the later round to a team you might not even want? And
Yeah, so at the time I wanted to be drafted because I thought it'd be
prestigious, right?
Prestige, yeah.
But then,
But practically,
my agent
good
even
question,
said to me,
Nick.
he was like, "Trust me, it's better off to be a free agent
Yeah.
at this point because now we get to pick the right spot for us,
Whatever
'Cause
contract you wanna work out.
Exactly. So we worked on it, and I think like the only real difference is maybe like a signing bonus when you first get drafted might be a little bit higher, but the contract's not much of a difference.
That's
I mean,
what
the
I
money's the
thought.
same and all that, so
No.
it worked out. I mean, the Giants is a good fit for me too, and I'm excited to see.
now
what
set the
happens.
stage for us. When you told the Giants yes, that was over the phone, I imagine. Were you surrounded with friends and family?
Oh
or-
yeah. So I went out to lunch with the Giants. I was telling Nick that. So I kind of had a feel that something was going to happen that day. So I had just family and friends over for the day, and we were all waiting around. We were all inside watching the draft. I got a call. I went outside, picked up the phone. Kind of took a little while because I was talking to a couple different teams, but then finally settled it down. Made my decision, went with the Giants, walked back in, and that's when the party started.
And what did you say when you walked back in? You remember?
Yeah, I think I signed with the Giants. And
then it was on,
yeah,
right?
Yeah.
That's got to feel good, man.
Yeah.
So did you bring out like your long snapper jersey?
Oh, I threw on my Lawrence Taylor throwback jersey
There you go.
for the
Oh,
night.
nice.
Yeah,
Very good.
I had to.
Now you got signed. So when was your first action with the Giants? It's rookie minicamp, right?
Yeah.
Which
What
is
happens after that?
Yeah,
After
what
you-
is that, like
So-
sometime in May or something?
Yes, I got signed on draft night. I signed. Then I believe it was like a week later, rookie minicamp was. So I went to rookie minicamp, and rookie minicamp's just draftees, all the guys who got drafted, undrafted free agents, and then like tryout guys who were there to work out. And that was about 3 days long. And when I got there, they put me as a outside linebacker, which I am, but in their defense it's a little different. I put my hand in the ground, so it was almost like a defensive end. And it was a good time, but it was definitely like tough to learn the playbook in 3 days and try and get ready for the next day. So it was a lot of work, but it's nice to like get in the swing of things. And I mean, you could always train for football, but there's nothing until like you're actually doing it. That's when you feel most comfortable and stuff.
And I can imagine it's kind of like, like a high school kind of clique, right? Because there's probably no one's gonna be like really analyzing the Eli Mannings of the team, but you probably have like a bunch of guys that are like working real hard, real competitive, that are like grinding, right?
And now it's
They like
a
kind of
job.
stick together. Do they like stick? You guys like stick
Yeah,
together?
all the young hustlers.
Yeah,
like,
I mean,
trying to make it.
are you like?
So the
doing-
rookie minicamp was, it's like still everyone kind of trying to fight for their job. But now that the season started and OTAs and whatnot, it's like the rookies are together all the time because we have meetings, rookie meetings, and all this stuff. So you become close with the guys, and it's just like college or high school. It's just like when you're in the locker room with your boys, messing around and going out and stuff. So it's a good time.
You get hazed at all as a freshman,
yeah.
as a rookie?
You had to carry some shoulder pads.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure it's going to be worse during camp. So far, all we've had to do is like sing in front of the team and whatnot.
What'd you have to
Nothing too
sing?
Crazy. I actually didn't go yet, so I'm trying to like
All right.
hide,
the right
hide
song,
in the
yeah.
back.
What's the worst song?
Just sing Happy Birthday.
Yeah, what's
Get
the
off-
worst
Yeah.
song? What's the worst song that you think they can make him say, so we could reach our giant contacts and make
I
him
don't
say?
know. I mean,
Sing
some
the
of the
Tiger
guys-
song from
yeah.
Hangover.
Yeah. There's some guys go up there and sing some pretty good songs, and then I remember like some guys would go up there and just get booed off stage. So it's
as long as you don't have to pick up the tab for anything.
yeah,
right?
yeah, exactly.
You see that some of these guys
the whole
Yeah.
entire
$50,000.
We'll let like the first and second round draft pick.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Worry about
they
that. they got it. Us undrafted free agents, so we got to sit back.
Yeah. What is your interactions with some of the stars of the team? Do you really mesh with them, or they kind of do their own thing?
Yeah, so I mean, the Giants is a great organization, and I've talked to a couple of I talked to Eli, Saquon, and all the older guys, and at first it's like you're a little nervous to go up to them, but they're just like anyone else, and they're great dudes. Even like Zach, someone I've watched my whole life, and now I went up to him and asked him for help, and he was willing to help me, and I didn't even have to go up to him. He would help me either way. So I mean, it's nice to see there's no bad guys or whatnot. They're all. I mean, it's a job, and everyone's fighting against one another to get paid and support their families and whatnot, but they're also looking out for you, and it's a good time.
I imagine locker room atmosphere, whether you're in college, NFL, or high school,
The locker room talk?
isn't that different, because people aren't that different,
People
You
just
got quiet
bullshitting.
guys, you got
Yeah.
nut jobs, you got quiet psychos.
The biggest difference.
you got,
biggest difference
you
is
got
probably,
characters, funny
Yeah,
people.
no.
I mean, it's the same shit no matter where you
Exactly.
go, so I can't imagine it's that different in the NFL.
Exactly. The biggest difference is I'm a 22-year-old kid who just got out of college, and then there's a 32-year-old
Yeah.
man with 4 kids, and I'm
It's
like,
not just juniors and seniors.
Yeah, exactly. That's about it, though.
Gotcha.
As far as the playing goes, is there any way to quantify, how different it is playing college football to what you've seen so far in the NFL? Is there
Yeah.
any way to even describe the difference?
It's just
different.
I mean, it's different for sure.
Bigger, faster, stronger.
Yeah, exactly. The same things you hear. I mean, it's bigger, faster, and stronger for sure. But at the end of the day, if you get caught up in that, you're gonna be cut.
You get
in a
roll
sense.
over.
So
Right.
so you can't even look at it like that. I mean, everyone's so fast and so big. but at the same time, I'm running as fast as I can, and I'm trying to hit as hard as I can. So it makes no difference at the time.
Yeah.
But once you watch it on film and whatnot, you get back from practice, it's like, oh, that
Yeah.
guy's pretty big. But-
Now, what are you doing to try to stand out? What can people do to try to stand out?
So for me especially is as an undrafted free agent, Division II, small school guy, I got to do something to stand out. So my whole thing is, even when you're learning the playbook, no rookie really got it down right away. But mine was just to go 110% every play, stand out on the film like me running by another guy, trying at least just effort-wise, because effort you can control. Sometimes you mess up on plays, but if you're going 110%, at least the coaches see that. And I mean, whatever happens at that point.
That's all you could do.
Yeah, exactly.
And
It's out of control.
aside from the head coach, there's got to be hundreds of coaches that have,
yeah.
or it feels like it at least.
Yeah.
People everywhere you look, someone's looking at you.
Yeah, I remember the first practice, I was ready to go, and then I just look around, there's probably 35 cameras, and then 50 coaches, and then the GM.
Film us
and the
any
owner.
mistake.
It's crazy. It's crazy. So I couldn't even put my hands on my hips on the sidelines. I
Yeah.
was like,
No losers lean.
yeah, exactly.
Loses now, is that whatever? Is that the same approach that a lot of the young guys are taking, or some guys do kind of mail it in?
I mean, some guys you could tell, some guys are just so athletically gifted, and they don't even they could half-ass it and look great.
Yeah.
But for the most part, every young guy needs to stick out. It doesn't matter if you're a first-round draft pick or an undrafted or just a tryout guy. You got to go 110%. Otherwise, there's not room for you in the NFL. I mean,
Yeah, and this is your one shot in your lifetime. Could you imagine looking back and being like, oh, why not at least try harder? Like you said, that was well said. At least that's in your control.
exactly. Because there's a lot that
Working your ass off.
Position-wise, I mean, right now I think I'm the third-string long snapper and the 5th-string linebacker. So it's I gotta just do whatever I can. I can't control numbers or whatnot, but guys go down. I mean, I could get hurt. The starter could get hurt. You never know when your number's gonna get called.
Well, I mean, it's right close to home. Will Ty played with Stony Brook, probably with you, right?
Yeah, I played my freshman year.
Yeah, so he eventually goes undrafted. I think he signs with the Giants. I think every single tight end on their starting and practice squad gets hurt, and he steps up, and he ends up playing some quality ball.
It's a solid.
Yeah, he had a. I think he's still in the league, but he did well his first couple of years.
But that's just an example of you never know what could happen.
Exactly.
You just keep grinding. And
you never know when your number's gonna get called. It could be any day.
Right. More so in football than any other sport.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, especially. I mean, look at last season in football. I felt like there was more injuries than I've ever seen with big name guys going down. Even the 49ers, they pulled up a practice squad kid to be their starting quarterback.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Right?
It's amazing how and I'm not against protecting the quarterback, but whether it's 1983 or 2001 or 2018, you still feel like it's the same amount or more injuries now with the quarterbacks versus then, and that's unscientific analysis. And obviously it's about people getting hurt in their long-term health. But it's amazing how quarterbacks are still going down like flies,
Well, you got guys like Jake that are getting bigger, faster, stronger.
Yeah,
I mean, that's the game, football.
The quarterback, their arm gets better, but they're not getting bigger, faster, stronger.
That's true. That's a very good
Now you
point.
see more running quarterbacks too. So
Yeah, exactly.
So it's pretty crazy. They leave the pocket, and that's a fair ball game.
Do you remember or can you recall like the first tackle that you've had maybe in practice against someone or who it was?
So right now we're just helmets and
Okay, so no full pads yet?
Yeah, nothing crazy. So hopefully I'll get my first tackle soon when camp starts. But I do remember like the first couple plays. It was like I still learning the playbook. I was like not sure what to do, and I just took off running down the sideline, like sideline to sideline, trying to just tap the hip of the running back, trying to just get on film.
That's all you can do.
But I mean that's really all you could do during OTAs, and now with camp starting, you're gonna have to fly your body around.
Bigger, faster, and stronger. I remember when J.J. Watt first hit the scene.
He's like a freak.
And they had like a scientific analysis of his vertical, his every little detail of his physical abilities. And I remember looking at that, and I'm just like, dude, people are gonna start like dying. Like if we have more people like this coming up in the league, like it's gonna be crazy.
Yeah, and then he went to go on offense and catch a touchdown.
Yeah, he had like 7 touchdowns that season.
Yeah,
Just a specimen of a
he's a
freak.
Good for him.
But you don't see that many. I thought I was going to see more and more and more guys like that. You don't see too many. That's pretty much an exception.
I wanted to talk a little bit about what's next for you. There's probably like how many guys they have on the roster right now, like 75 or something?
No, so right now there's a 90-man roster.
90-man roster.
Preseason there'll be 90 throughout preseason, and then they'll make one cut, I believe, down to 53 men. So
wasn't it previous that they had to do like certain cuts?
Yes, yeah. So that's what I thought it was. It used to be, I think, weekly cut, like maybe 10 guys.
So you'll, God willing, you'll be on the whole preseason.
I hope so. I believe that's how it goes. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure that's how it goes. And hopefully get some playing time, get some film, and then do the best I can. Hopefully make the team. Yeah.
Now, obviously, you were a star in high school, and everyone, 2 or 3 people walked by and said hi, patted you on the shoulder. Has anything changed around town since you got drafted by since you got signed by the Giants?
Yeah, I mean a little bit. You see, I mean I'm always around. So I went to Stony Brook and Post, and I've always been around. So I'm friendly with a lot of people. All my buddies are still around, so I see everyone. Now I'll get a lot of calls saying congratulations and whatnot. I got a big family. I'm one of 8.
Yeah.
So I mean, my parents, we know a lot of people and whatnot. So
like the
I wouldn't be
Gronkowski
here.
family.
Yeah. I wouldn't be here without my family and without my friends. So it's cool we're all kind of like enjoying the moment.
Did you ever get like Giants nut jobs cornering you, like trying to prime you for
especially
information?
on like social media, I'll get some messages, but nothing too crazy. Maybe hear like an autograph every once in a while. I'll be like, "Hey, you sure you want my autograph?" I'll sign it. But it's a good time. I'm enjoying it.
Yeah. So how many brothers do you have? You're one of 8. How many brothers?
I got 3 brothers and 4 sisters.
How much roughing around in the backyard? I know you said you play around all the time, but
Yeah, I mean,
that's what really made you the man you are, right?
So me and my little brother, he's a sophomore in college at Cortland. We would always go to our older brother's football games or lacrosse games or whatnot. And everyone always said we had a football in our hands and we would just tackle each other and play. And then it was always us 2, and then we always had our friends with us. So we always had enough for a game. So we played nonstop every weekend and pretty much every day.
Some scrapes and bruises.
Oh, yeah.
What else you guys do for fun around Babylon?
Babylon, I mean, it's a great town. We got our boat next to Argyle. So we take the boat out, go tubing and whatnot, fishing.
Fishing or just cruising? And
Yeah.
tubing?
Most of the time, we'll honestly just take it to like Hemlock, chill out there, and it's so nice just to get away.
You got such great beaches over here. You can go to Cedar, Overlook.
There's so much to do.
Town of Babylon has the best beaches on Long Island,
for sure.
without a doubt.
Since I've been like working here, I've just like it was like a hidden secret to me because I live out in like the Selden Center Reach area, so like wasn't familiar with these beaches. Now like I bring
you
all
only
my
swam
boys.
in Lake Ronkonkoma growing up.
Yeah, grew a 3rd arm. Gotta get that shit cut off.
There's so much to do around here too, so it's a good time. Definitely take advantage of it.
There you go.
That's number 4.
Every time we pass, someone passes, they look at Jake.
Yeah. I thought they were looking at me.
That's those are your guys' fans.
Go to Babylon!
Is there any funny kind of moments or interactions, kind of like behind the scenes stuff, being in the league so far that you can talk about?
You don't have to name names.
Let me see. one of the funny things I find kind of funny is in the locker room, there's like surprisingly, I think there's a speaker, soundproof in the there's got to be speakers in the locker room, but all these dudes, everyone has like their own speaker, and they're no like small speakers. They're like $300 Bose speakers, and they'll be like, it's a 90-man locker room, but there'll be like 18 speakers playing like country, rap, hip hop. Someone's got like Oprah on, and I'm just like, this is absurd. Like, I'll just get like headphones or whatnot.
It wasn't really.
But I mean, it's funny too, because then you guys like got like dancing and rapping and whatnot. It's a good time. So
When these guys get headphones.
yeah. The locker room's always fun, no matter what like level you're on. That's probably the best part of sports, I think.
Yeah.
Is there like family and friends already trying to hit you up for tickets? How does that go?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I got a big family, and right now we're worried about preseason, so good thing preseason's pretty cheap. If I'm playing in the regular season, that means I'll be getting some money, so that means I'll have to spot some tickets every now and then. But I definitely want them to be there for support, so I mean, it doesn't matter to me. If I can get tickets, I'll get it for them, so as many as I can. Hopefully not too many. But
how's it work with player tickets? You get allocated a certain amount?
Yeah, I think we get like 4, maybe 2 or 4.
Eli Manning gets unlimited, probably.
Yeah,
right?
probably. But I'll have to give those
usually
to my parents, and then I'll let everyone else fight for it.
The big games, the Mannings are usually up in the box.
Oh yeah.
I don't think that comes from the Giants.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they got it all figured out.
They got it all squared away. 60 years of NFL experience.
Yeah, I'm sure you're looking forward to the Giants-Jets game too. You know, if it gets that far.
Yep.
I'm sure that's one you've circled.
August 8th. I already got all my friends and family are talking about getting buses and whatnot. I mean, I hope I get some playing time in the game. But either way, I mean, we've grown up big Giants fans and whatnot, so this is all crazy to us, and we're all looking forward to it.
Dad was a big Giants fan?
Yep. Yeah,
he's got to be over the freaking moon, huh?
Yeah. Well, I think we got a Giants flag hanging out ever since draft day.
Yeah, I'm
so
sure.
That's hopefully not coming down anytime soon.
Fantasy football. Were you a big fantasy football guy?
I played. I used to play a little bit. No money, of course, because
you can't
I was in the NCAA and whatnot.
Yeah.
But
right. Play for candy bars.
Yeah. A little loser had to do something. But I mean, now I can't do it. I always enjoyed liking it. I mean, fantasy. I would always just Sundays throw on Red Zone and watch all those guys. But
I was gonna say, because it would be kind of different now. Like you're drafting your teammates and stuff. It's like, do you root against the? If you
They should let the defensive guys play and bet.
Because it's
not bet, but play fantasy.
I mean, in the NFL, why not? Yeah, exactly. Friendly wagers.
I'm looking forward to college game days though on Saturdays, because I always played on Saturdays, so I couldn't really watch.
Oh wow, yeah,
but
that's
I love
awesome, man.
college football, so. Yeah. I'm looking forward to that.
Could you speak a little bit about your college experience? I know we touched about it a little bit at LIU Post, but you were the man. You were. There was people telling me they hit a little Troy Polamalu in you. I don't know if Mike knows this story. It was like a end of the game, 4th and 1.
His hands would be a little longer.
Linebacker / defensive back comes flying over the top, stops the guy to end the game.
Yeah. No.
What was playing at LIU Post like?
It was awesome. It was a little different from Stony Brook. I had to adjust. I mean, honestly, it was a little bit slower because, I mean, we go down in division, but it was still good football. And, I mean, it was a lot of fun. I had some dogs on the team, too. I had Kev Petit-Pierre and Mikey Richardson. He was on the offense, and he's a West Babylon guy. But it was a good time. I mean, we ended up going undefeated, won the championship game, and then we ended up losing the first round of the playoffs to Slippery Rock with a good team. But it was a good time. I mean, like I said, the locker room was so much fun. It was a good group of guys, and football was just football.
Do you think it ultimately helped you going down to D2 as far as your NFL prospect? Or do you think you would have still got the same looks at Stony Brook?
I mean, I think football, I would have played it either way the same, but I think I stood out a little bit more Division II just because,
I mean,
right away, even the size isn't as big, so I'd stand out size-wise. And then my play on the field helped me a lot, so it definitely helped me out. I don't think, I mean, going to LIU Post was probably the best thing I could have done.
And there's a bunch of Long Island guys on the team, which is good.
Knew a bunch already.
Yeah, now when you grew up in Babylon, do you get to know the other kids in, like, West Babylon and West Islip?
Yeah.
Kind of in a bubble over there?
Yeah, so during high school, we were, I would say, in a bubble. We hated West Babylon, North Babylon.
Yeah.
And we would always scrimmage them in lacrosse or football. and we wanted to smoke them, and we always did, of course.
Of course.
But after high school, I started meeting a lot of guys. Now I got like a bunch of buddies in North Babylon, a bunch of buddies in West Babylon, just from like college, and then going out, meeting them and stuff.
Cooler heads prevail.
Yeah.
It's so true too. I mean, he played for St. Anthony's, but I played for Newfield. So we hated your rival teams. Like we hated West Babylon too, because that's
we would burn Chaminade down.
Exactly.
We wouldn't get arrested.
Exactly. And Riverhead too was like a big. We hated Riverhead, Newfield High School.
I mean, you gotta. That's what rivalries are for.
Yeah, you got it.
And those local rivalries can get some real contentious too. I mean, it's like some crazy families and parents.
Yeah. As long as you keep it on the field.
Oh my gosh.
Some of the moms are crazier than the kids, man.
One time, at one of the games, one of our coaches' tires got slashed, which is crazy.
Oh, really?
Yeah. We played Farrell in Staten Island. The parents were spitting on us coming out of the.
It's crazy. Just at a high school level.
Those are the best kind of games.
Yeah, for sure.
Good point.
Yeah.
Now LIU Post is transitioning to D1. I'm sure there's a lot of changes going on there.
What conference are they playing in?
They're playing in the NEC.
So that's not Stony Brook.
No. The NEC, I believe, is like Bryant, Wagner. Who else is in that? Central Connecticut. A couple of teams. It's a good conference. I don't know too much. I'm starting to learn about it. I've been talking to the coaches and some of the guys on the team, and I know they're excited. They have some big games coming up. They have Villanova, South Dakota State. So they're in for a long season, but I think if they do well, I mean, hold up.
South Dakota State's a powerhouse.
Yeah, exactly. So
Stony Brook plays in the best, probably the best division in D1 AA. I'm old, that's what I call it. That conference probably sends like 4 or 5 teams to the playoffs every year. It's crazy.
Yeah, they're real good. What is that?
It's either Patriot or Colonial. Gets us to confused.
Colonial.
Yeah. But that's a great. Hopefully there'll be some Stony Brook LIU games.
Yeah,
that'd be great. Yeah.
Maybe down the road.
I remember when Hofstra and Stony Brook both had pretty decent basketball teams. Those are some great basketball games that the Island tuned in on.
Yeah, it sucks when Hofstra and Stony Brook. When Hofstra folded its football program, so hopefully like LIU Post could kind of step up.
So many of those guys went to Stony Brook to play.
Yeah,
the Stony Brook program's been awesome since then. Probably the best thing that ever happened to Stony Brook.
And they've been real well the past couple of seasons. I know they made the playoffs the past 2 years, I believe.
Yep.
Well, there's so much. There is a lot of talent on Long Island and the city, and just like your decision, stay. People want to stay home. They want their families to watch them play, and so that program's just going to get better and better.
Yeah, and I wanted to ask you about that too. Mike just reminded me. Being a Long Island guy, the Giants is people from all over. Do people like ask you like where you're from? Does that
Yeah. So I'll tell.
Do they
people,
look down on you like you're just like Long Island or something? Yeah.
So when we get there, we you got to introduce yourself, whatnot, and then every day we'll just be talking to someone new. And they're like, "Where are you from?" And I'll be like, "Long Island." And they're like, "Oh, so this is pretty sweet. Like, you're right. You're in home." And I'm like, "Yeah, because most of the guys are in California, Florida, Texas, all over, and there's only 2 guys from Long Island." Me and Jimmy O'Hagan from Seaford.
Yep.
So it's a good time, and we since we're close enough, we brought a couple of the rookies back home with us for a weekend.
That's good.
Showed them around and whatnot, so we had a good time.
Where'd you take them?
We went to Long Beach, went on the beaches and whatnot. Then we went to Fire Island for a little bit.
Ocean Beach.
Yep. Went on the
Their
boat.
eyes must have been.
Yeah, we had a
good time.
one zippy. yeah, it was a good time.
But the region, certainly the whole Northeast in general, not just Long Island, does get looked down upon.
Because I mean, what all-star athlete have we really ever had from Long Island?
Yeah,
none of them really come to mind. We've had some players from the area go on to the NFL, NBA. I mean, Tobias Harris. Are
we talking NFL strictly?
No, I'm just talking about athletes in general. Tobias Harris is the one that just sticks out the most because he just got a $180 million contract, and he was from Dix Hills.
Probably the best Long Island player ever is Collier Shrimpsky. If we're going across all sports, and they're
I don't even know who that is.
Oh wow! I'm just gonna leave.
Yeah, no, I know Tobias was in North Babylon for a little bit as well.
Oh, was he?
Yeah, I think when he was younger. So
I know Danny Green played.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm thinking of. Danny Green. My bad. Tobias, yeah. I mean, they're both good. Danny Green he went off in the playoffs.
So now we have our Jay Carlock would be like, oh shoot, he's the best football player to ever come from Long Island.
It'd be nice if I signed a $180 million contract.
The Brickashaw's from Long Island.
Yeah,
he had a great career.
I know that
forever. All right, I don't know what to say. Where and when I'm going to date myself over here.
The Brickashaw, who's that? Yeah, he was from
Freeport.
Yeah. Yes, there are a couple guys. Usually they come right to my mind, but nothing really sticks out right now. We've interviewed Jordan Gowans, a teammate of yours, who's is trying to make it in the league too. I know he got invited to rookie mini camp.
Yeah.
Did you hang out with him at all?
Yeah, I talked to Jordan when I was there. He's a good dude, and he's a beast. He's a sick football player, and I'm hoping his name will get called again. And I think he deserves a shot. He's a pretty talented football player.
So when I'm sure you guys are on opposite parts of the field too. He's offense, you're defense. What interactions do you guys have, any at all?
Yeah, so I remember back a couple of years ago at Stony Brook when we would face each other. I mean, I would just look in the backfield and see a big ass running back. But,
he's like 6'2", 230.
He's a monster.
Yeah,
something like that.
Yeah, he's a big dude. But we didn't see too much of each other at rookie mini camp. But we said what's up to each other, talked for a little bit. And he's just a good dude.
There's a lot of rumors out there about Eli Manning and his like persona and stuff like that. That he's kind of just does his own thing. Have you? Not
yes.
to get too much into the gossip here, just something I'm kind of interested in.
I introduced myself to Eli because I was a Giants fan my whole life.
Yeah.
He was like my hero growing up.
Yeah.
But
is he as monotone as he comes off to be?
no, he was a good dude. He was funny and he was cracking
really?
jokes and he was just a cool dude. I was pretty pumped that I introduced myself. And hopefully he knows my name now. But
yeah.
but he seemed like a real genuine dude and he was cool.
Yeah.
Certainly genuine.
Yeah.
Haven't watched him since the beginning of his career. You just think he's just like this big geeky guy, you know?
Yeah. I mean, he comes to work every day in a suit and whatnot. So
I'm sure like other guys you see probably just roll up in sweatpants and flip flops.
Yeah, I was one of them. I gotta learn from Eli and Diassi and start wearing suit to practice.
It's amazing how that guy could have complained the league for so long and never miss a game.
It's crazy.
Other than when he got benched
For Geno Smith.
McAdoo, the worst Giants coach in fucking history. But it's amazing how he could do that. And I always looked at Eli and he just looks, he doesn't look like a solid human being. So I always said, like,
dad bod.
There's like a drunk driving accident and like the driver doesn't die because he's just like limp and loose. I feel like that's kind of like Eli's thing. He's just always so limp and loose and he just gets knocked around. And
he's been slinging it. And
it's amazing he can do that.
Him and Daniel looks real good too. I'm tied with Daniel now. He's a good dude as well. And
Daniel Jones, the rookie first-round pick.
And they both look real good. So I'm excited to see.
I know you're.
It's gonna be wild.
I'm sure the majority of your focus is doing as best as you can, making sure you're the best player you could be. But as far as the Giants as a whole, you've interacted with the team. You're part of it. You're in the organization. Any outlook you could put out there of what you estimate the season to be? A little bit.
It's definitely a different view. I mean, coming from a fan. Just getting updated on Twitter and Instagram is like, all right, I wonder how we're going to be this year. But now being in the...
You feel like the vibe a little bit?
Yeah, the vibe. I mean, all I see is just like great football. I mean, I've never been around so many talented people in my life. So, I'm hoping we do real well, and I'm excited for the season. I certainly don't know what's going to happen, but I'm excited.
There's a lot of people excited.
Yeah.
There's always hope in August,
Yeah.
No, exactly. It's coming up soon, too.
Yeah.
We'll be here before we know it.
And you won't say it, but, the worst thing wouldn't be to have a bad season because then some of the younger guys can get looks.
Yeah. Exactly. Especially
yeah, you can't say that, but I could say that.
Yeah, I'm hoping preseason gets some time.
Yeah. So
it'll be cool. Good experience for sure.
Now we have a reason to watch a preseason.
Yeah,
game.
100%.
Which are always kind of hard to watch.
Is there, as far as picking your number goes, that could be symbolic to some people or to others. An undrafted guy, I'm sure, your first round, I'm sure.
Just pick 56.
I'm sure Daniel.
No problem.
I'm sure Daniel Jones got like whatever number he wants. Undrafted guy, do you you get like whatever's left over? Or did you have some sort of selection?
I showed up on rookie minicamp and I already had my locker with 47 in it, and 47 is my house number, so I was like, that's got to be a good sign.
That's cool.
So, it means something, and I know my buddy C.J. Conrad, he's a tight end from Kentucky, he also got 47, but since we're on different sides of the balls, right now it's fine, but once the season starts, if we both make the team, one of us are going to have to switch. And I went up to him and I was like, yeah, you like 47? And he's like, nah. And I was like, all right, I was going to take it.
Awesome. Yeah, because sometimes that's just how it plays out. Because when I was in high school, they just threw, here's number 30. And then it's like, you had a good season with it. And you're like, all right, shit, I'm number 30 now. And then it's just like, you just rock with that for the end of time.
Yeah, and then it becomes like your email address and password and shit.
Yeah, exactly.
That's my email address after 5 from Post. So you're right. It's funny.
Hey, what's up? How are you, bud?
Look at this guy.
Yeah. Yeah, we're live. We're a podcast. Okay, I'll catch you later. So
Don't upstage Jake.
so I got one. Jake's got like 15, 20 so far. All right. So as we wrap up, and maybe people will, listening and whatnot, how can people, follow your journey? Where's your social media and stuff? Like people that want to just follow along and see what you're up to.
Yeah. So my social media, my Instagram is at Carlock. My Twitter's at Carlock5, I believe. And then I'll be in touch with you boys. I mean,
awesome.
It'll be a good time. I'm not too crazy on social media, but
you kind of have to lay low, right?
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, you got to be smart, especially nowadays.
So just check greaterbabylon.com for updates.
Yeah. I'll throw up a pic every once in a while, but
awesome.
Yeah, look at the website, Greater Babylon.
Awesome.
Love that.
All right, Jake. Thank you so much for joining us. For everyone listening, whoever wants to catch more episodes on the 495 podcast, we're on Spotify, Apple, iTunes, and you can check out our site, greaterbabylon.com. So, all right, guys. Thank you very much.
Appreciate you guys having me.
Thank you, Jake. Great show.
Good time.
I've ever felt before. In my current state and in these days of war, we must grow together or the end is near. Thicken up your skin and loosen up your fears. I've been waiting through my limitations, choosing to move.